Hey, what's going on everyone? Josh Quinones here, and today I am going to be doing one of my all-day battery drain tests with the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Now, if you are new to the channel, first of all, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any other future videos to come. But if you are new to the channel, this is usually a test that I do with different devices to really test out the battery. I'll be using it all day long as heavily as possible to see if it can actually get me through an entire day of heavy usage or not. So the way this works is I'll be updating you guys every couple of hours throughout the day to let you know what the battery percentage is at that time, what my usage has been like, and what my screen on time is as well. Now, it is currently 11:07 a.m. I took this device off the charger at, I believe, 7:30 a.m. this morning. So we'll go into the settings right now and see what my battery usage has been like so far. But we are currently at 84% battery life, as you can see right there. So not doing too bad so far. For 3.5 hours of usage, I've actually been using this quite a bit since I've taken it off the charger this morning. But I gotta say, over these past couple of days, battery life has actually been really good on this device. But let's go ahead and check out my battery settings to see what my usage has been like so far and see where we are at with screen on time. I'm really curious to see how well this device is going to do today. All right, so here we are. As you can see, we now currently have 83% battery life at 11:16 a.m. Now, I do gotta mention that this whole test will be back and forth between my carrier connection and a Wi-Fi connection because I want to keep this as fair as possible. And, you know, not everybody's going to be able to be home, or not everybody's at work all day long to possibly be able to be connected to a Wi-Fi connection, which does help save a little bit of battery life. Sometimes you do got to be connected to that either LTE connection or 5G connection. So I want to keep this battery test as fair as possible. So I'll be back and forth between the two throughout the day. But let's go ahead and go into my battery settings here and see what my usage has been like. Okay, now the thing about this chart right here, it's still showing me results from yesterday. So we kind of got to go off the results from this middle line right here and on. So what I'm basically going to do is click on the graph on this side, which is today's graph, and just add up all of the screen on time. So this is basically where my screen on time started. As you can see, if I go before that, when it was still kind of on the charger, 0 minutes of screen on time. So we'll go ahead and go to this first one right here. We got 29 minutes, and then we'll go to the next one, which is, let's see, kind of hard to do this behind the camera. There we go, 43 minutes. So we'll go ahead and add that as well. And then going to the next one, we got 58 minutes, and then the next one is 30 minutes, and then the very last one is 9 minutes, and that brings us to 169 minutes. So we're about 2.5 hours of screen on time in total, and then it'll basically give me my most used apps here. As you can see, GarageBand, I really used that a lot during this time right here. If I go back to the previous one, YouTube was my most used app. And another thing that we do have to take into account is the sound coming out of the speakers as well. Screen on time isn't everything. That's not the only thing draining the battery on this device. We also got to take into account when we're talking on the phone, listening to music, or if you do have that YouTube Premium, sometimes, you know, with me personally, I'll be watching a YouTube video if I want to keep listening to it, but not watch it. All I got to do is just get out of it. I can shut the screen off on the phone, but I can continue listening to whatever it is I was watching before. So we got to take all of that into account as well when doing this battery test. But yes, so far this is where we are at, again at 83% battery life at 11:18 a.m. with about a little bit over 2.5 hours of screen on time. So I'm going to continue using this phone as much as possible, and then I will update you guys in another couple of hours. Okay, I'm done. Okay, that has probably got to be one of the things that I like the most about this device, is that I have the ability to use GarageBand on here and be able to make music. Now, that is not the best I can do, but I've kind of just been, you know, messing around with it, just having some fun and just doing a couple of things on it, and I've actually become pretty addicted to it. So GarageBand is definitely something fun to use on this device. But let's go ahead and get into our update here on battery life. So it is now 2:37 p.m. So about maybe a little over 3 hours later from the first time I updated you guys. We are now at 57% battery life, and I have actually been using this phone quite a bit. So let's go ahead and jump into the settings and see what my usage has been like. Okay, so before we get into my battery settings here to take a look at what my usage is like and screen on time, first I got to give a huge thanks and shout out to the sponsors of this video, Subcase. If you are not familiar with who Subcase is, they are a case manufacturer that makes some great, super super, very durable protective cases, which I have actually done tons of drop tests with using their most popular Unicorn Beetle Pro series and their Exo Pro series. And all of my devices that I have done those drop tests with still came out looking like new, including the iPhone 12 Pro Max. And if you want to check that video out, I'll make sure to drop a link down in the description below so you can check out that drop test. But this device came out looking like brand new after using both of their two most durable cases. And they also have many cases to choose from, like this one right here I have on, which is one of many. It's nice and stylish, but not only does it add style to your device, it's going to give it some good protection and also give you the ability to be able to hold things like your debit card and your license. It's just an overall very good looking case. But like I said, they have lots of cases to choose from. And if by the end of this video you want to check one out for yourself, I'll make sure to drop a link down in the description below. So don't forget to check out our sponsors of this video. Huge thanks to them once again, Subcase. Okay, so going into the battery settings here, let me go ahead and go into settings, battery, and here is the breakdown of what my usage has been like so far. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, some of this is still from yesterday's usage up until midnight, but looking at the chart here, it looks like it is slowly starting to finally creep out. So as time goes on, eventually we will not see yesterday's usage anymore, which is going to make it a lot easier to see what our actual screen on time is and what my actual usage has been like for the day. But as you can see, regardless, most of my used apps are right here at the top. We got YouTube being my most used app out of everything. We got Twitter, GarageBand, which I mentioned earlier. I have been using that quite a bit as well. Did a little bit of gaming, Gmail, Disney Plus, camera, photos. You got the home screen, lock screen on there because that does take up screen on time when you are using it. And also, if I click on here where it says show activity, it will give me an even more detailed breakdown. So as you can see, YouTube took up 2 hours and 35 minutes of screen on time so far. It ran 17 minutes in the background. So once you click that up there, it just gives you more of a detailed breakdown of these. So I already went ahead and added up our screen on time for today without adding what was added on yesterday. And so far we are at just about 5.5 hours of screen on time, which is amazing because, like I said, we are at 56% battery life, which is still more than enough to get me through the rest of the day. I mean, at least I am assuming. Now, of course, everybody's usage is going to be different. Not everybody will have these same results. You know, you might not use your phone the same way I do. I might not use my phone the same way you do. This is just to give you kind of an idea of how good or bad the battery life is when using this device, just based off of my usage alone. But yes, so far, 56% battery life left at 2:56 p.m. I will go ahead, keep using this device, maybe do a little bit more gaming to see how that will drain the battery if I really do a lot of gaming on this device. So in another couple of hours, I will be back to update you guys. All right. So we are back again with another update. It is now 7:01 p.m. So about 4 hours later from the very last time I updated you guys. And as you can see, we are now at 27% battery life. Battery life on this device has been amazing so far. I mean, this device is a beast when it comes to battery life, and I have really been using it a lot. So let me go ahead and go into my battery settings here. There we go. And as you can see, it does say 7 hours and 46 minutes of screen on time, but we got just a little bit of usage from yesterday left that is still showing, that is slowly going away. But let's go ahead and take this usage away. So it says 24 minutes of screen on time from yesterday plus another minute, so minus 25 minutes. So we are at about 7 hours and 16 minutes of screen on time. Let's see, why isn't it? There we go. Okay, there we go. So minus that, we are at 7 hours and 16 minutes of screen on time, which is crazy good so far. And like I said earlier, we are now at 27% battery life. So we still got 27% battery life left to go with 7 hours and 16 minutes of screen on time currently. So battery life is definitely doing great on this. I haven't had to worry at all about throwing this device on a charger throughout my day today. So let's go ahead and go through my most used apps so far. So you can see, watch some more YouTube, played a lot of Call of Duty actually. Let me go ahead and go to show activity, about an hour of screen on time just from Call of Duty alone. So it definitely handled that gaming fine. And throughout my gaming, I actually didn't notice any overheating as well. So it's definitely handling that just fine. Got some Twitter in there, a little bit more GarageBand, CSR Racing 2, Disney Plus, checked a little bit more Gmail, got Clash of Clans on there, a little bit of Maps, YouTube Studio, the camera. I did a little bit of 4K video recording as well. Make sure you stay tuned. Make make sure you subscribe if you are not subscribed already, because I do have a 4K video test coming with this device right here. So if you're interested in that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss out on that video. So yeah, this has pretty much been my usage all day long today. Like I said, my most used apps, YouTube, Call of Duty, Twitter, GarageBand, definitely used those a lot. But I got to be honest, I am very impressed so far with battery life. So again, it is just about 7 p.m., 27% battery life. Maybe in about 3 hours, I will update you guys again, depending on where we are with the battery life. I'm gonna try to get it down to 0% before our next update. Maybe there'll be 2 more updates. I really don't know how long this is going to last me right here, but I really want to try to get it to die down at least by midnight, so I am not up all night until the next morning, because I really don't want to go to sleep until I get this device to die down to 0, so I can be able to update you guys and let you know what my final screen on time is. So I am going to continue using this device until we can get it down to 0%. It just dropped down to 26%, but y'all let me know what you think about this so far down in the comment sections below. I'll see y'all again in another couple of hours. Woo, all right, so we are back with our last and final update. I did it. I was able to get the battery to drain down before midnight. As you can see, it is now 10:39 p.m. We are now at 1% battery life. So let's go ahead and take a look at this before the phone actually dies on me. Let me go ahead and go into battery settings here and look at that. So we finally got rid of yesterday's activity. This is all today. We are at 9 hours and 3 minutes of screen on time. Look at that. I am impressed. Battery life on this device is amazing. It is running like a beast. And this is what my usage has been like all day today. Let me show activity here. Why can't I get it to pop up? There we go. Okay, so as you can see, YouTube for 2 hours and 13 minutes of screen on time. Call of Duty, I played that a little bit more earlier as well. Twitter, GarageBand. These are all my most used apps for today, and the rest of my usage just keeps going and going, and this is it. Look at that. So definitely very, very impressed. And I really like the breakdown that the device gives us right here of my usage, because it's actually letting me know how much screen on time was used on each one of these apps. But like I said, we also got to take into account the sound coming out of the speakers, because that's using up battery life as well. So every time I watch a YouTube video, the sound coming out of there is using up battery life. Every time I'm playing a game, listening to music, no matter what it is I'm doing, if it's using sound, that right there is using up some battery life as well. So definitely very impressed with battery life on this device. Took it off the charger at 7:30 a.m. this morning. It is now 10:41 p.m. with 1% battery life left. Not sure how much further this 1% will get me. I always hear that the last 1% is the strongest out of the rest of the percents in the battery. So I'm gonna have to wait and see, but definitely very impressed with battery life. If I'm using this normally every single day, I'm not gonna have a problem at all. And I'm sure the same can be for anybody else that has this device right here. If you're using the device normally, not trying to use it as heavily as I did today, you're not going to have any problems with battery life or having to worry about throwing it on the charger throughout the day. You will make it through your entire day. So y'all let me know what you think down in the comment sections below. What do you think about battery life? Do you think it could be better? I would love to know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any other future videos to come. If you did like this video and find it helpful, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up. Again, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you all so very much for watching, and don't forget to check out our sponsors down in the description below. I will see you guys on the next one. This is Josh Quinones. Peace out.